YouTubers developing egos and stuff is something that I think a lot of people in the community are already aware of, to be honest, because, you know, it's become so common now for YouTubers to have this image that they are better than other people. They are superior to others, essentially, which is absolutely not true at all. Just because, for example, me, just because I have some numbers attached to my name does not mean I am better than anyone else. That doesn't really make sense. We're still a human after all. But there are some people, there are some YouTubers out there that do get an unhealthy obsession with themselves, and they really need to do some self-reflecting at some certain points in their life, because they don't really realize what type of impact they really have until it's too late. And I'm going to be talking about, like, I guess my experience with other YouTubers and stuff. I'm not going to be naming any names, obviously, because that's just unwanted drama. I don't really want that. But I'm going to be talking about, like, I guess why YouTubers gain egos, and why some YouTubers, you know, decide that this is how they are going to live their life by pretty much being selfish assholes. Essentially, I think the reason why YouTubers gain such massive egos and think of themselves like as superior people is probably because they gain a lot of support and they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. Gaining support is great. It definitely can be weird for the human mind if you're getting too much support to the point where you kind of lose yourself a bit, because you gain so much support to the point where you don't feel like doing anything. It can become unhealthy. And I'd also like to add that I'm going to be focusing on the term egotism, not as much of narcissism. I'm going to be touching upon that as well. I know that's in the title. I guess narcissism is a bit of a different definition from what egotism is. Narcissism is somebody who loves themselves so much to the point where they think of themselves so highly, to the point where I'm gonna give this analogy and say, like, they would probably take a shit on their hand, smell it, and say it smells amazing. I'm not even kidding. That's a perfect analogy of what a narcissist is, because they love themselves so much. It's kind of gross, man. I'm not gonna lie. They don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. Now, with an egotist and a person who's just simply egotistical is usually a person that, you know, seeks validation from others by flexing their sub count and constantly bragging about what they have, not really caring as much either about. It's kind of the same boat as narcissism, but they don't love themselves as much as a narcissist does. You know what I'm saying? So there's a bit of a stigma there. But I also would like to add that there is nothing wrong with being confident in yourself either, because some people do confuse confidence with egotism, which is wrong. You can still be confident with yourself and not be egotistical. That's completely 100% reasonable to do. Like, one valuable lesson I guess I will teach you a lot today is that, like, insecurity in my eyes is loud. When somebody is loud and always seeks attention all the time, they are most likely insecure. Okay, I'm gonna say that right now because okay, this guy's bow boosting so much, bro. But self-confidence and somebody who just is confident in themselves as a person is silent most of the time, because that person doesn't really need to say anything. A person who is narcissistic will often seek validation from others, and I'm saying that all these people that are narcissistic and egotistical, they are most likely very, very insecure about who they are as a person. And I think that a lot of these YouTubers are very insecure about who they are as a person, because they constantly feel the need to, like, prove themselves to other people all the time. They essentially lose a bit of that, like, you know, respect for others, really, very, very quickly, I feel. Now, I do believe that this type of behavior really just depends on who you hang out with. I believe that if you are a very successful person, you can definitely still be, you know, disciplined. You can still be very humble, obviously, but that obviously depends on who you hang out with, I feel. Because if you hang out with, you know, a lot of douchey people and you are very successful, you're more prone to become like them, you know? You know the saying that you are who you are with your friends or whatever? Your friends influence a lot more than you think until you're no longer friends with them, you know what I mean? So I was hanging around once with friends that weren't really the brightest people. They were, you know, quite edgy, I would say. They were not really the most nice, if you will. They weren't really nice people to everyone. I'm very glad that I got out of that friendship, because those people were just really, really toxic. I think it's important to have your circle small, because that way there isn't as many problems being caused if you have a small circle with people. You obviously can be friends with other people. That's not what I'm trying to say, but, like, for me at least, I'm a pretty linear person. I usually just stick to myself and stick to my closest friends, and that's it. I don't really do anything else other than that. These YouTubers have friends that egg them on and say that whatever they're doing is, like, perfect, right? They pretty much are yes men. Now, a yes man is a person who approves everything what a person is doing, even if it's wrong. And it's kind of, in my opinion, opinion, it might be considered a manipulation tactic. They pretty much are manipulating this person into believing whatever they're doing is completely right and completely morally correct for them to do. It doesn't matter what they do. They can literally kill a person and they would say, oh yeah, you're doing just fine, bro. These people are pretty much just designed to massage this person's ego and nothing else really. They're not really meant to do anything else. They're just kind of there to massage his ego. When you surround yourself with people like that, you kind of take insult to people giving you criticism. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers need to understand the difference between somebody giving them criticism and insulting them, because a lot of YouTubers, believe it or not, have a hard time dealing with criticism, which is insane to me because I absolutely love criticism. I love receiving criticism. When someone gives me criticism, that makes me a better person. You know what I mean? But like, obviously, it's not criticism if somebody just says your videos are shit, right? Like, because what can I gain from that? I don't really gain anything from him saying that my videos are shit. I don't gain any knowledge. I don't gain any, like, nothing. There's nothing I gain from him just saying that my videos are arse. If he gives me like actual criticism into what I need to improve on, then yes, that's very valuable, I feel. I feel like the reason why a lot of YouTubers do genuinely get into this very egotistical mindset is because of the friends they surround themselves with. They believe whatever they do is right. They don't hold them accountable at all. If your friend does something bad, you should hold them accountable to it. Obviously, that's what a good friend will do. If they do something terrible, then were they really your friend if they didn't say anything in the first place? I don't think so. Like, a good friend will tell you straight to your face without even thinking about it that like, yo, bro, what you did there was kind of shitty. You need to apologize. You need to make up. You know what I'm saying? Like, a good friend would tell you how to make it up. A bad friend would egg you on and not say anything, or say you should continue doing that bad thing because of whatever, because they have so much power or whatever, right? Now, I'm not saying that you should completely judge someone just because they're friends with a different person. I don't agree with doing that at all. You obviously need to talk to that person first before you develop a good judgment of that person. You're not going to judge them just because they're friends with one person that you don't really like. I feel like a lot of these YouTubers, they just need some guidance, I feel, because a lot of them don't really know what they're doing. They just feel everything they do and everything they say is completely objectively correct because they don't really receive criticism, so they don't know how to handle it. By being a YouTuber, you kind of need to handle criticism. You will have to handle people saying that they don't like you to your face all the time. You will have to handle that. I'm sorry. It's just kind of the package deal you get starting a YouTube channel, essentially. Like, people will dislike you just because of the way you sound, your mannerisms, the way you look, the way you play, like everything, bro. Everyone will find a reason to not like you. I have, surprisingly, a lot of people that just don't like me because of who I am. A YouTuber that doesn't really receive that much criticism is probably prone to be a pretty shitty person. I'm not saying that every person that doesn't receive any criticism is a bad person, but like, they're probably not used to getting any constructive or actual criticism at all. And I also don't think it helps with the fact that like YouTube and in itself, like Minecraft in itself as well, is always trying to be this really hyper positive space where nothing can ever go wrong and like everyone is right and everyone is super happy and all this shit, right? I don't really think it helps with that. I don't think it helps with YouTubers' mindset that like when the whole platform they're making videos on is also just like a fun joy place where nothing can ever go wrong. They just don't know how to fucking act like a normal human being because they don't receive any criticism. They don't receive any hate. Not that you need to receive hate to become a good person, but like, I'm just saying it will shape you into a better person, I feel. Oh, what the hell? This guy's so laggy. What the fuck? Alright, thank you lot for watching my little rant video. I'm gonna end it off right here. So give me some more topics to talk about in the comment section down below. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you lot later. Peace.